Okay, this is a video for how to set up your InDesign file to create a newsletter, but also with, I guess, a basic step-by-step process that you should be going through to create your newsletter. Before you get up to this step, so be aware, make sure that you've done this. You should have already started to find some images that you want to include in your newsletter and also some text that you want to include. Remembering that your main body of text has to be at least 500 words, all right? Save your images as JPEGs or PNGs, whatever they come as, and save your text, copy and paste it onto a Word document, all right? Okay, once you've done that, open your InDesign. This is where you're going to start. File new, all right? You guys would be at the opening page. We're going to create a new document. From there, what I want you to do is go print, select the A4 preset, because if we were doing a magazine, we'd make it the exact size of a magazine, but because we're doing a newsletter, newsletters would generally be printed and given to the public, so they'd be printed on A4 to make it as cheap as possible. We want orientation to be portrait. You want 4 pages because we have a front cover, a back cover, and our 2 facing main pages, and you want them facing as well. This one here, ignore that. That's just to give you a initial text box, I guess, to put on your page. We don't need that. We do want, however, 3 columns. Leave them at about 1 picker, or if you change it to millimeters, then there you go, that's what it would be there. Our margins, we want our bottom margin to be, so if you unlink it, our bottom margin is going to be slightly different because we want a little bit of room down the bottom to put some extra information. I'm going to think about size 16, all right? You guys can change these settings depending on how you want your layout of your document to be, all right? You can change them at a later date. The one that you can't change, you must adjust your bleed. The purpose of a bleed is so that then when your product gets sent off to the printer, if there is a photo that extends to the edges of your page, what you will find is when it gets printed, there might be a white line around the edges. We don't want that. So that is why we put a 3mm bleed in, and you extend your photos out to that bleed. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. If you go preview and you just check and see what's going on over here, if you're happy with that layout, I'm not happy with my bottom part of my page. Has that changed enough? I don't believe it has. I might go create and I might adjust it a little bit later if I need to. Okay. Yeah, I'm still not happy with that. So I would go back and adjust that, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to continue on. I'll move myself over here. All right. Things that you need to know in InDesign, you probably already are aware, but you need to know where your pages are so that then you can adjust them. At the moment, we have our front page, double spread, back page there. All right. Okay. Other ones that you need to be aware of are, this is a rectangle frame for photographs. This one here is just drawing general shapes. All right. Text tool, when you select text and create text, the functions will appear up the top. The other thing that you probably need to change is change your settings to Essential Classic up the top so that then you do get more functions up here. Okay, perfect. Now, like I said beforehand, you've already collected probably some images and some text. Let's hope so. If not, go back and do that. Now what you're going to do is, I guess, manipulate the images and then start adding them into here. So I have previously opened up my Photoshop file because you will be editing and manipulating any photographs that you find on Photoshop first. The ways that you can manipulate your photographs are insert another photograph over the top, use the layer mask tool. So you can see I've got layer masks over here to cut out the background, and then what is that doing? And then place them on over the top. So that is one thing, you can layer your objects. The other thing that you can do is go image over here, making sure that you've got the correct layer selected, and you can adjust different colors. You can adjust the exposure, the shape. You can change things to black and white if you like to. All right. The options are endless. Okay. but you do need to manipulate your photographs. Remembering, guys, some of you I gave the feedback for the last assessment task that not only do you need to address the design brief, which you all do very well, by the way, but you also need to show me how many skills you have, okay? Because that is like half of the marking criteria I'm marking you on. So show me your skills in Photoshop and your ability to edit, manipulate, adjust things, okay? Once you have edited and adjusted your photograph, save it as a probably PNG, all right? And then you are going to insert it into, I should probably save that, insert it into, I need to export, or do I? No, I don't. Insert it into your InDesign file that you've just created. So another thing as well, guys, I have created a folder that says images, logos, and links. All right, make sure that you save all of your anything that you're going to put in your newsletter into that folder, and do not move it, do not change it. Otherwise you will have problems when you get into InDesign because your links will break and it won't like that. Okay, now that I've saved that as a JPEG, PNG also works. I am going to draw out where my photograph is going to go. I'm going to make it fit just here. I've decided it's going to be on that front page, or sorry, that not on the front page, it's going to be on the first double page spread at the top. I'm going to go File, Place. Hopefully it will be open in my folder. No, it's not, so I've got to search through all of my folders. This is what organization looks like, guys. And then I'm going to find my image. Oh, look, the fruit. Okay, and there's my photograph. To adjust the inside photograph, I need to click on that one there, and then I need to hold shift to make sure that it stays within the same dimension so that it doesn't squish or jumble. Once I'm happy with that, then I go and just click off, and there we go. All right, I'm just going to quickly switch over to the one that I prepared earlier. So this is minus my fruit, okay? But what I've done here is I've inserted that image, I've played around with it, so I'm happy with it. It's in the top part of that frame and it extends out past the bleed. Then what I've done is I've inserted a heading. Now, the margins and all of that behind it, you don't have to follow them. The point of them is so that then when you've got massive amounts of text, then you can adjust, all right? The one thing that I did want to show you though is how to link. At the moment, you will hopefully be able to see that there is this really faint blue line that is connecting all of my text boxes here, even though they are in columns. What that is doing is that is linking what is in this paragraph, then leads onto this one here. So if I do a double click and I enter down here, you'll see that my text continues on and then it enters into the next one. I want to really quickly show you how to do that, and then I'm going to let you go and to play with your design. So the way that we do that, you insert a text box. I'll come back to this trusty thing here, and you click and drag. I'm making sure that mine click to or flick to those guidelines. Then I'm going to draw another one and another one. Okay, I will now insert my text. So I'm going to select my selection tool, select the box that I want my stuff to start in. I'm going to go File, Place, and find that Word document that I have saved all of my stuff in, which is the article that's just here, and text will appear in there. Now, this icon that's just here that I'll zoom in on is currently red. That means that there is text extending out of here and I can't see it all. If I click here, and then I click to over here, it will click and connect from there to there. Now, if I go view, and then I always forget which one this is. Extras, that's right. And then you go show text frames. Then you can see that there's that little blue arrow there. All right, it just makes it more visual for you guys so that then you can exactly see what's going on. Again, if I then do my enter down, the text continues on into that area there. I can then do the same thing with my third text box. So selection tool, clicking on that one there, and then clicking on that one there, and then clicking this one here, then again, it's over there. If I then, because I haven't quite finished all of my text, I could then add another text box in over here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Scroll up, not down. All right, text box. Insert it in here. Red to this one. Nope, red. All right. Make sure that you've got it in your cursor to that one, okay? So now it looks like my text is connecting from here to here. Then modify, adjust it. As you can see, I'm not totally happy with this, but I have played around a little bit. I've got that initial first heading up the top, then I've got a slightly smaller one that doesn't quite jump out as much, but it gives you a bit more information about what it is that I'm working on. Then I have this text, which is like the opening paragraph that's trying to draw you in. I've made it a little bit bigger and it's kind of fitting that whole section there. And then I've got my different beaches. I'd probably make that go down to the next line. Okay, so I'm going to create another video really quickly just talking about styles, or actually I might do this in class time. Video, I think. Okay, so click onto the next video that I'm just about to make, which will tell you what I'm kind of looking for in the way of like what will be on your front cover, middle page spread, and back cover. Okay, fantastic.